Please note that this content is for educational purposes and for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. More details available in the description box. Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream with me, Grizzly. This is Grizzly True Crime, and today we're going to be deep diving as much as we can because it's a huge case, Nikki McCain's case. I see from the poll that 65% of people that were waiting for this live stream to start have never heard of this case, which is surprising to me because I've been following this case but I've never covered it. It's just, so it's huge. Today what we're going to try to do is an overview presentation, but I really want to show you this quickly, just especially for those of you who do know about the case. Just have a look at this, okay? So this is what got me saying, oh my word, here is the husband, and he's finally broken his silence after all this time of not helping to search for his missing wife, the mother of his 4 children. This is Tehama McCain. Yeah, and he could be the most helpful, you know. We'll get into why and everything, but he was actually at a press conference yesterday and he had a few things to say. So I thought, whoa, let's let's have a look at this together. Let me actually just boost the sound so we can make sure we can hear what he's saying properly, right? Okay, so let me make it full screen for us. Hold on one second. And then I just want to show you, and then don't worry. If you don't know about the case, do not worry. Just observe and then we'll get to the presentation, okay? So check this out. This is him. And this is Nikki's family standing over here. Look at the police looking at him. Now he is innocent. I can't even say till proven guilty. There's no charges against him, okay, at this stage. So just putting that out there, but it's just interesting that now he's decided to say something and it was quite awkward.
Good morning. My name is Chris Edwards, the investigations captain of the Sheriff's Office. And we're here this morning regarding the Nikki Saelee-McCain case. At this point, we were asked by the media, or the family, who wanted to address the media regarding her investigation. And at this point, let's let the media know that we're not planning on taking any questions after regarding this case, and the family's relayed the same, so please respect that. So at this point, the Sheriff's Office is continuing to investigate this. We have since last.
I know the sound is a little bit echoey, you know, but it's the best we can do right now.
May, we're nearing a year. At this point, we're about 10 months and still actively working the case. So at this point of the conference, we'll let the family address the media as requested.
Okay, so here he's mumbling, sort of like, he's like sort of saying something, and then check it out, they give him a mic, they're like, oh, you want to speak? Okay.
So we just have we'll have each family member share their good.
Hello, I'm Tehama McCain. I'm the husband of Nikki McCain. First of all, I would like to thank the Sheriff's Office, FBI, for getting involved. Any efforts that that might help bring my wife home, you know, safely. We miss you. I don't really know what to say. You know. I haven't been in the public eyes, and I haven't done very well with it. I apologize to everyone, especially my children, my wife's family, mine as well. I'm just here in support, so anything that I can do, I want to do that. So, okay, I'll take over.
Thank you, Ted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure, that was awkward, hey? We'll listen to it again later. I'll see if I can find another version of it as well so that the sound might be a little bit better. That was the best we can do with that one. So Kerry says, thank you, Grizzly, for always being such a class act. Thank you so much for being a member for 8 months. And Janet has been a member for 29 months. You're like, reading that room. Yes. So you see what I mean? I was like, whew, it's getting very interesting. And the way the police look at him, oh my word. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go through a presentation. It's a little bit lengthy, so stick around. Please like and share so that others can also learn about this case if they've never heard about it before. And let's see what the timeline is looking like because, of course, Nikki still has not been found. She is still missing, and it's 10 months later, okay? So as I say, this is just an overview because there is so much information. There's obviously also, it being 10 months later or so now, a lot of speculation on social media, a lot of information as well from locals, from witnesses, from all sorts of things. So I'm just trying to keep with the bullet points for now, and then we can keep on diving into this case if you like, if we find other things that we could talk about. Factually, Georgia, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. So, Nikki Cheng Saelee-McCain. Nikki was born on November 9th of 1984, same year as me, in Thailand. So she's 40 years old now. She was 39 years old when she was last seen. She is of Mien descent, an indigenous ethnic group originating from Southeast Asia. She was the second of 4 siblings, so 3 sisters, Kay Ford, May Martin, and Chloe Salee. Her sisters have described her as fun, goofy, bubbly, feisty, brave, gentle, kind, and says that they said she has the biggest heart. Nikki's family moved to the USA, starting a new life in Seattle and then settling in Redding, California, where her parents apparently had 3 more children. Shasta County is where she lived in Happy Valley. Has a notable Min community. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm trying my best there. Kraken says, hello sus, keep up the amazing work, G. You inspire me every day. Thank you so much. So she was heard from last, and I'm saying heard from rather than seen, and you'll see why, but heard from last. Her phone texted last on May 18th of 2024. Nikki loved to help people, and now she's the one who needs help to get justice. So she was always so kind to everyone, always willing to drop everything and help everyone, and she really needs to be found, and she really needs justice. Joe, thank you so much. Okay, so there's a picture of her. She's also got a tattoo on her forearm, as you saw there. We'll get to that again later as well in the presentation. So in her 20s, Nikki worked at the Wind River Casino as a cocktail waitress, and that's where she met Tyler. The guy you just saw at the press conference? Yeah, that's where she met Tyler, who became her husband, obviously, who worked in the slots department. He was apparently born in 1982. They started dating, and they were engaged for approximately 6 years before they got married. They had 4 children together. Tyler's mother, Jeanette Haywood McCain, is an enrolled member of the Redding Rancheria tribe, a federally recognized Native American reservation near Redding, California, where she resides on this Redding Rancheria Road near the Wind River Casino. And that's a very important location because it's around where Nikki was last known to be, okay? So, her father, Jeanette's father, Orville Hayward, was a Wintu, hope I said that right, and Redding Rancheria tribal elder. So it puts Tyler, his mother, the grandfather then of Tyler, they're very high ranking in this tribe, right? And so they said who helped establish the casino in 1993 and served as its facilities manager until retiring in 2002. This connection suggests that Tyler has familial roots tied to the tribe through his maternal lineage, though it's unclear if he's an enrolled member himself. He is apparently, I've seen from social media that he apparently is a member of this tribe, and what's so frustrating is that he can really lead the search for his missing wife if he wants to, because of where she was last seen, and they're still struggling to search certain properties on this tribal land. You see? So he could really make things happen, and he's apparently not at all doing that. Barbara North, oh, thank you so much. That is so sweet. Thank you. Said happy belated birthday, Giza. Thank you. Okay. So that's important to note as well. And it was scary. This case scares me quite a bit because it just seems like, I really hope that we'll see this case, I was going to say see him get cuffed. Can't say that yet. I just hope that there will be justice, that there will be answers, that they will find Nikki, right? So there are allegations of Tyler's infidelity in the relationship, as well as him abusing Nikki over the years. And that is not just, it's not just rumor and speculation. There are witnesses who saw that. And so before the pandemic, oh no, it's one of those DV patterns. This is a DV case, so trigger warning, that there is domestic violence topics in this case. Before the pandemic, Nikki was a stay-at-home mom and Tyler was a spa manager. They lived on a 3.5-acre property near the Redding Rancheria, which is a federally recognized Native American reservation, as we just said, in Shasta County, Northern California. When the pandemic happened, Tyler lost his job and the family spent most of their time together at their home. Now, I don't know if he lost his job or if it just meant he couldn't work because the spa closed, you know what I mean? Oh no, but then it's like lockdown with a DV aggressor. So violence got worse. There's so many cases like that, right? Melissa said DV escalated during the pandemic. Yes, and this case sounds like it was no different. So Tyler would spend more and more time in the garage where his sister apparently lived. She was struggling with substance abuse and she was staying there. So there's a few people living on the property because later we'll hear about a roommate as well. I mean, it's a large property. And Nikki suspected that he may have started abusing substances. So that would also start sparking fights because she'd be asking him, are you taking drugs? What are you doing in the garage? And then he'd get really angry and then lash out. So, shame. There are many accounts of witnesses observing Tyler's abuse of Nikki. For example, her running out of the house screaming, him chasing her with a wrench, saying that he was going to cut her head off, and people hearing this. And then I was thinking, well, damn, did anyone call the police then? Apparently, yes. The police were called multiple times, but Nikki didn't want to press charges against Tyler. She was scared. You know, it reminds me a bit of Gabby Petito's case, in the DV sense of seeing that body cam and her just apologizing and just being like, no, we don't want to be separated, and that fear that we saw. So here as well, she really didn't want to press charges. She didn't want the children to be affected or anything, so she didn't press charges, even though the neighbors were calling. So they did see something, they did say something. I just wish as well that the police were better trained to handle these DV situations, right? As we've seen in some cases, because shame, there must have been some red flags there as well. Susan, thank you so much. So the police were called multiple times. A police report from January of 2022 notes that Tyler and Nikki's 4 children were placed in temporary custody with Tyler's family under the direction of the Tribal Social Services due to ongoing domestic violence. So her sisters eventually, they were also fighting for shared legal guardianship of the kids, and they eventually got that as well. So already there you could see that Tyler's family is pretty prominent in the area. They get what they want, you know what I mean? Okay, so allegedly. Her sisters eventually got the shared legal custody of the kids, and apparently the kids are with them now. Once her family could see her again, because in lockdown they couldn't see each other all that much, right? So they didn't know how bad the abuse was. They said that they were very concerned about her well-being. And she had told them just a few things, and they were like, oh my goodness. So Rob says, congrats on hitting 401k subs, G. Thank you so much, Rob. And that is $4.01. Thank you. Roberta says reservations have their own laws and police. This is probably where he hit her. That's what scares me about this case, right? And I mean, he's got influence in that type of land as well. Okay. Nikki's sister fought for and eventually were granted the shared guardianship. Nikki sometimes left Tyler, so sometimes she would leave. As we know in DV, the stats are that a victim will attempt to leave at least 7 times, right? That's the stat. So she did want to leave sometimes. She left, she packed up her things and she went to stay with her family. But she always went back to him. He would call and beg for her to come back and told her family that he would change. It's so sad when we see these patterns because he would love bomb, he would play the victim, he would Darvo, as I've got there on the screen, deny, attack, reverse victim offender, right? And so on November 29th of 2023, Tyler attacked Nikki and she ended up in the hospital. So there I've got the word document, and that reminds me to pull up the document because I must read this to you so that you have the full context. As I say, this episode will be a little bit long, okay, because we've got a lot to work through here. But I do want to show you this so that we can just understand how bad this was. Okay, so trigger warning, this is going to be talking about an attack from, it's a domestic violence case, and this is talking about horrendous abuse, okay? All right, so this is an incident report from the Shasta County Sheriff's Office. Incident number, you can see there, report time was 12/01/2023. Now remember that Nikki was last seen in May of 2024, okay? So narrative, I hope you can see. On Friday, 12/01/23 at 23:12 hours, I responded to Mercy Hospital in Redding, California, to make contact with a female who shall be referred to in this report as confidential victim. The purpose of the contact was for a reported domestic violence incident involving herself and her husband of 13 years, Tehama McCain, that occurred on the 29th of November of 2023 between the hours of 8:30 in the evening and 11:30 in the evening at their listed address of, they lived on Olinda Road in Anderson, California. The numbers redacted. This is public record. It should be noted that the original call of the report came in around 19:10 hours, so 7:10 in the evening on the date of 12/01/2023. Upon coming on duty later that evening, I attempted phone contact with confidential victim, but was told by her friend she was currently being treated in the ER and not able to speak to me. In making contact with confidential victim at the hospital, I immediately noted facial trauma to both of her eyes, as well as her forehead and facial areas. Both of her eyes were blackened severely. Both were also swollen in what appeared to be the result of a physical assault. I asked confidential victim who did this to her, and she stated it was her husband, Tehama McCain. Using my department-issued iPhone, I recorded a conversation and asked confidential victim to explain to me what occurred. She relayed the following in summary. Again, trigger warning. We're talking about DV. So, confidential victim stated on Wednesday, 11/29 of 2023, she returned home to her address on Olinda Road, a residence she shares with her husband, Tehama McCain. She said they'd been together and married for approximately 16 years and have 4 children in common, none of whom live with them currently. Now we also know why if you saw the presentation. Getting back to the night of the incident, confidential victim stated when she got home around 20:15 to 20:30 hours, so 8:15 in the evening, Tehama was not home. Confidential victim went into her bedroom and started combing her hair. When approximately 15 minutes later, Tehama returned home in a strange mood and for some reason went and locked the back door of the house. Confidential victim stated that for unknown reasons, Tehama seemed extremely agitated and was not making any sense. When he contacted her in the bedroom area, she said he immediately jumped on her, held her down on the ground, and dragged her around. He yelled at her and asked her, "What's going on? What are you doing?" Confidential victim stated Tehama had a glazed, scary look in his eyes as if he was having some sort of mental episode. Confidential victim tried to calm Tehama down, but to no avail, and he continued to torment her verbally as well as to hold her down and began to repeatedly hit her in the face. So just so you know, if someone's only joining now, what we're doing is reading through this document of what happened in November of 2023. We're busy going through a presentation. We looked at a clip of the husband breaking his silence at the beginning of the stream, and we're going to look at it again later, because then you'll have lots of context as well. Confidential victim stated that Tehama's behavior began to grow more and more intense towards her, hitting her in the facial area with his open hands in a harsh, forceful manner. She said in addition to hitting her face, her eyes and her cheek areas, he also pulled her hair numerous times and even poured large amounts of water onto her from a water jug that was sitting beside her, causing her to become very cold. Confidential victim stated this behavior by Tehama continued for approximately 3 hours. 3 hours, during which time he bound her ankles and wrists together with white tape. He also placed a piece of tape over her mouth so she could not speak properly. Confidential victim stated part of the tape was not covering her mouth fully, so she was able to breathe, though she could not speak. During this time, confidential victim stated that Tehama turned her over onto her stomach and straddled her from behind, pulled on her hair, and forcefully pulled her head back, saying that he was going to kill her. I asked confidential victim what state of mind she was in at this moment. Confidential victim said she thought she was going to die, that Tehama may actually intend to kill her. Throughout the evening, Tehama periodically hit her as he laid her on the ground. Confidential victim said one time Tehama attempted to wrap something around her neck, but was not successful in doing that. I asked confidential victim what type of object Tyler used to wrap around her neck. She said that she was not sure, she did not see, only that she felt it. In looking at confidential victim's neck, I did not notice any specific strangle or choke marks that could be attributed to an attempted strangling. In looking at the eyes of the confidential victim, it was clearly evident she had been struck numerous times, with her injuries suggesting that they came at the hands of being struck by another human being. It also should be noted, confidential victim is a small person at 4'11" and 90 pounds in stature. She's tiny. 90 pounds, 4'11". What? Tyler is substantially larger and stronger than she is, and there would be no way for her to fend him off in his fit of rage during the assault. Confidential victim said Tyler has done this type of thing before, but never this bad. During my interview with her, confidential victim said she was not sure about Tyler's illegal drug use, but believed that he used methamphetamine, I'm just going to say it, sorry YouTube, periodically. I asked confidential victim after the approximately 3-hour ordeal how it all ended, and she stated towards the end of the night, around 11:30 or so, Tyler went into the kitchen area where he remained for several minutes. Believing that this was the opportunity for her to escape, confidential victim grabbed her robe that contained her car keys, ran outside and got into her vehicle. She said as she was leaving, Tyler came running out after her and jumped on the hood of the car, telling her to stop, which she ignored. I asked confidential victim if Tyler sexually assaulted her during the incident in any way, and she said that he did not. After leaving her residence, confidential victim went to her sister's house in Reading, where she's been staying ever since, and eventually made the report to law enforcement. I asked confidential victim to describe the punches that Tyler hit her with. She said it was not really a fist, more of an open hand, and that he hit her 10 to 15 times in the facial area, including her eyes and forehead. Confidential victim could not see what he used to wrap around her neck, but believed that he may have been trying to suffocate her. This is 4 pages long. We're on page 3 of 4, just so you know. Confidential victim said that she has not spoken to Tyler since he has not called her. No one else was at the residence when this incident occurred, and there were no witnesses to contact. Photos of the injuries to confidential victim, as well as a medical release form, were signed and will be added to this report. The photos will be booked into evidence after they are transferred to a CD-ROM. My recorded interview with confidential victim will also be converted to CD-ROM and later booked into evidence. At this time, confidential victim will no longer be living at the Olinda Road address and will be staying for the foreseeable future with her sister in Reading. If only it stayed that way, you guys. You're going to hear more of this timeline. Confidential victim was advised to go to one safe place in Reading at her earliest convenience to get assistance in obtaining a restraining order against Tyler. She was also provided a Marcy's card, a victim of violent crimes pamphlet, a report number, and my contact information in case she had any questions or concerns. After speaking to confidential victim, myself and assisting deputies responded to the home on Olinda Road to contact Tyler McCain. Upon responding to that location, just listen to this. Here we go with the DARVO, deny attack, reverse victim offender, okay? It's what they do, flip the script, right? Just act like, what? I don't know, what do you mean? This never happened. Tyler was taken into custody. So it's, wait. It says, upon responding to that location, Tyler subsequently came out of the residence and met us in the driveway. Tyler was taken into custody without incident, placed in handcuffs that were double locked and checked for proper fit. He was then placed in the back seat of a sheriff's office patrol vehicle and transported to jail without incident. Prior to being transported, I informed Tyler that he was being placed under arrest for domestic violence, as well as other charges for injuries sustained by confidential victim during a domestic violence incident. At the jail, I read Tyler his Miranda rights from my card issued to me by the Shasta County District Attorney's Office. Tyler verbally stated to me that he understood his rights and agreed to speak to me regarding this incident. I first confirmed confidential victim was in fact Tyler's wife. He stated she was, and that they'd been together for 13 years now. Did he say 13? Because that's also 13 years. So what about 16? Okay, but I asked Tyler if he was aware of the injuries that his wife, confidential victim, had upon her face and body areas. Tyler said he's aware of them, but he did not actually see them. He said that he last saw his wife on the 29th, during the evening hours at around 8 p.m. When I asked if there was any kind of disturbance between them, he said no, there was not. Tyler then told me that he believed his wife had gotten into a fight with another female And that's how she received the injuries that she currently had upon her body. Can you believe what I'm reading to you? What? Wow, okay. And so I asked Tyler if he saw the fight take place, and he said, no, he did not. Tyler's statement sounded inconsistent, saying that he believed the confidential victim was having an affair with another female, but then went on to say that they had got along great and had been together as a happy couple, never having any type of physical altercations between them. When I again asked Tyler if he saw the fight between confidential victim and this alleged female, or if he saw the injuries that she had upon her face, he said he did not. I informed Tyler his wife and confidential victim reported him as being the person who caused numerous and visible injuries to her face, during a violent encounter at their shared. Oh, I didn't even see it, and yeah, I have no idea. My goodness. So based on the totality of the circumstances, is based on the fact that the injuries upon confidential victim were consistent with that of a domestic violence incident, I informed Tyler that he was being charged with felony domestic violence, as well as false imprisonment, a felony, terrorist threats, also a felony. The domestic violence related charges stem from the fact that I observed physical injuries upon confidential victim that she sustained at the hands of Tyler McCain, her husband. The false imprisonment is due to the fact that confidential victim stated Tyler bound both her hands and legs with tape, preventing her from leaving the house. So he had serious charges, and there was going to be a trial, and Nikki disappeared 2 weeks before the trial. Before important hearings for the trial. So this is very important to the timeline of the case as well. So all of these charges that you can see, they say that the PC terrorist threats for the fact that Tyler threatened to kill confidential victim numerous times during the course of the incident and was in great fear for her own safety and well-being. This concluded my contact with Tyler, and he was booked on the listed charges. And on the side, they say 4 felony counts explained over there, right? So prior to transporting Tyler to jail, I was given permission by both confidential victim early at the hospital and by suspect Tyler McCain to enter residence and retrieve confidential victim's cell phones. During a cursory safety search of the residence, 5 firearms were found inside the bedroom area in plain view where both Tyler and confidential victim reside. Tyler is not a convicted felon and is not prohibited from owning firearms, but a records check revealed that one of the firearms, an AK-47 style rifle, was reported to be stolen out of Oregon. That rifle, as well as the other ones, were taken for safekeeping and later entered into evidence as recovered stolen property and for safekeeping. Sergeant Gusas collected the firearms along with the ammunition and booked them into the Shasta County ID lab. Tyler McCain was later served with a receipt of the property at the jail that he signed in my presence that will be downloaded as being tied up by Tyler with laying on the floor in the bedroom area, but did not observe any in plain view. So that was a long document. They said this report will be forwarded to the district attorney's office, and so that's what they did, and a case was made, and this was going to go to trial. And that is what is so important to start this case with, right? Okay, just if YouTube is being naughty, by the way, because it is doing that lately, just refresh your chat, okay? Sometimes the chat crashes. Even I have to just refresh it quickly so that I can see you all again. Otherwise, I'll be here all alone. Okay, so I'm glad I got to read that to you. Now let's continue on with the presentation. So as we know, that Nikki was last heard from on May 18th of 2024. Okay, so this is where we were. So Nikki's sister Chloe said that Nikki was beaten so badly that she was barely recognizable. So her sister was the one to take her to the hospital. And her sister's the one that convinced her, you need to tell the police about this. This cannot go on. You almost died, right? And so Nikki was, according to her sister, very scared, like extremely fearful to go to the hospital or to report Tyler. But she knew that she had to because she thought that Tyler was going to kill her that night. Yes, Stefan says YouTube likes to get a refresh once in a while. Yes, it does. So, okay. Now, if anyone's confused, I hope that you will check out again the beginning of the stream, but don't worry, we're going to go over a timeline now. So the confidential victim would be Nikki McCain in that document, and she had finally, because of her sister's help, been able to tell the police what had happened, because she didn't. She was so scared of Tyler that she didn't want to tell the police. She didn't want to go to hospital, but she got help. And she was staying at her sister's house. Now, how, after staying at her sister's house, she got away from Tyler. He almost killed her that night. He was charged with all these 4 felony charges. How did he end up back in her orbit, right? Tyler had a suspended license and he needed a ride to get to a court hearing. So he asked Nikki to help him. That's where he played the victim. You know, when it's like, please, no, I don't know. I'm just now speculating. I don't know how he said it. I'm speculating that he played the victim and said, no one else can drive me there. Can you drive me there? I really need to go to court. And he'd probably say, it's your fault. I'm going to court anyway. It's because you called the police. It's because you went to the hospital that now I'm in this pickle. So can you please drive me? That's the least you can do. I'm imagining it. I'm speculating, right? I don't know what he said. But somehow he convinced her to help him. So Nikki, being a very kind and helpful person, agreed to help him. When she picked him up, he directed her to his lawyer's office, where she was then pressured to drop the charges against him. She said no, and in response, he drove off with her car. And that was apparently not the first time that he had abandoned her like that. Like literally, he just goes off with a car, just leaves her awkwardly at the lawyer's office or just on the street or wherever, right? Okay, so, hold on, I lost my place. She said no, okay. He later convinced her. So you could see that was one strategy, drive me to court. That didn't work out and he had a fit and left with her car. Then, he later convinced her that if they got back together, they could get their kids back. Because remember, CPS had taken the kids and put them in the care, the legal guardianship with Tyler's family. And then they had shared legal guardianship custody with Nikki's sisters. Okay, so he sold her the dream of, why don't we make it work? We could be a family again. We'll get our kids back. And obviously, she wanted her kids back. These abusers are so dangerous. And they love bomb. And they play the victim. And they do all the things. And it's just, this is why we share these cases, because there's so many lessons to be learned here. Not at all to victim blame or shame. Just lessons of, it escalates from there. This is what they do, right? We study them to know what do they do. It's almost like they all read a freaking manual or what, right? Okay, so she, just for those of you asking, she was born in Thailand. It is Tyler that is connected to tribal land, okay? So let's keep going with this timeline because we've got quite a lot to still do and we still want to see that press conference, you know, from yesterday, and we want to see Tyler speak at the press conference, breaking his silence. But you can understand now why we see the snippet, we look at him, we look at it, now we need the context so that you can see it again with all of that, because then it's very interesting. All right, so then he convinced her if they got back together, they could get the kids back, which is how Nikki ended up back with Tyler in late March or early April of 2024. Sorry, that was a, wait, of 2024, not 3, that's a typo, 2024. Remember the attack was in November of 2023, and she went to the hospital on December 1st of 2023. So yeah, after that, shame, like she actually got back together with him thinking, yes, okay, yeah, then we can have our kids back. So then, even though she had moved back in with him, she would not drop the charges against him. And now, obviously, we know how dangerous that can be, right? Because that's what he wanted. He was telling people he's going to pay her off, she's going to drop the charges. But she was like, I'll move in with you, but I'm not dropping the charges, okay? So then on May 7th of 2024, Tyler pleaded not guilty to the charges against him at a preliminary hearing. So she was still alive, she was there, she is still alive, assumed now. There's just no proof of life since she was last heard from, which is so sad. No text messages, no bank account records that we've heard of. No one's heard from her, no one's seen her. She's missing since May 18th of 2024. So if you look at even his court dates, you look at the brutal attack on her, and then the charges that he faced. And then the court hearings, that gets quite intense. So on May 7th, he pleaded not guilty to the charges at this hearing. Nikki texted her sister apparently on that day and said that she was done with him. She said that she wanted to divorce Tyler. And we know in domestic violence, the most dangerous time is when the victim wants to leave. And so we've studied many cases like that, even like Dee Warner, remember that case as well? Oh my goodness. And so she told her sister, that's it, she's done with him, she wants to divorce him, and she was looking for a new apartment, she was looking for new furniture for the apartment, and she vowed to do absolutely everything that she possibly could to get her kids back. Tyler then apparently bought her a truck. This was the truck that was later found abandoned. And that's interesting because the truck wasn't even registered yet. And this was 2 weeks before she vanished. Okay, so that's another, I'm going to speculate that that's another love bombing tactic. Like, look, I bought you a car. Stay with me. Got you a truck and everything. Like, what? So Nikki's family reportedly last physically saw her on May 12th of 2024. Her last text to her sister was in the early morning hours of May 18th of 2024. And law enforcement is keeping many details of the timeline close to the vest, but Nikki's sisters have pieced together what they believe happened. So on May 17th of 2024, Nikki spent time with her mother-in-law, Jeanette, and at some point in the day, they decided to visit Tyler's brother, Brian, in the Mercy Hospital in Redding, California. Now, I haven't found too much information of what he was in the hospital for. I did see some other videos where they had mentioned that family had told them that it could have been like a blood clot in his lung or something like that. I've also seen people on social media question whether Nikki was even there that night. Did anyone see her there? Was the brother even there? I've seen all those theories as well. There's a lot of rabbit holes in this case, okay? So, as the story goes, Nikki was spending time with her mother-in-law. There's also allegations that the mother-in-law at some point had physically assaulted Nikki, but that Nikki also didn't press charges. That's according to her family, right? Sure, okay. So, Jeanette, Tyler, and Nikki. So Nikki, her husband, and her mother-in-law drove to the hospital in Jeanette's car, and they stayed there. Some reports say until around midnight, but others say until around 8 p.m. To me, the 8 p.m. one makes a little more sense, but okay. They stayed there for some time that evening. Nikki texted her sister, Chloe, to say that her and Jeanette, her and her mother-in-law, had left the hospital, that Jeanette was very distraught, and that she was helping her to drive back to her house on Rancheria Road. So we'll look at the maps as well, just so that you can see that. Let me just see if I've got it here. Okay, I've made a small map there in the corner, but if I just quickly show you this, here's the Wind River Resort and Casino, and that's where the mother-in-law lived close to. And then this Happy Valley area on this Olinda type road. See, Olinda Road's winding all around here, so I don't have any exact addresses on here. It's just general areas. YouTube disclaimer, not showing any personal private information or addresses, just a general area. The mother-in-law lived around here, and Nikki and Tyler's house was around here in Happy Valley, right? So from the hospital, they're driving to the mother-in-law's house, okay? And apparently, Nikki was the one driving her mother-in-law's vehicle because the mother-in-law was just so distraught. Whereas Tyler, he apparently stayed behind at the hospital. But this night starts getting very shady when it comes to all the stories that all the people were saying, right? Okay. So, I hope you're following. Pay attention. On May 18th of 2024, so it just clocks over to over midnight, right? 12:35 a.m. She, and I say her phone, texted her sister Chloe to say that she was driving to Jeanette's house to drop off her truck. So as the story goes, what her sisters thought she was doing was driving from the hospital to Jeanette's house with her truck, with Jeanette's truck, okay? And then driving Jeanette's truck back to her house where she lived with Tyler, and then later they would take the truck back, you know, at some point. But I don't think like all hours of the night. So the story gets a little bit sus here. Because the sisters are like, why would she then go home and then say, oh, now I'm going to drive back to take Jeanette's truck back again? Why go out a second time? Why not just drive Jeanette to her home and then get picked up? get an Uber, get picked up. I don't know, right? The story just doesn't make that much sense. And there's many, many people saying many different things, okay? So Nikki has never been seen or heard from since her last text message was sent. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I do want to say, if any family or friends are watching, firstly, welcome. Secondly, I'm so sorry that this has gone on for so long. You know, it's like 10 months later and they haven't found her. And it seems like the vibe I'm getting from watching interviews and things is like, what are the police doing? But maybe, I think everybody collectively is hoping that they're doing a lot behind the scenes. I just really hope that that is the case, right? But also, if any family and friends want to correct any information, add in any information, reach out, whatever it is, you can contact me. My email is grizzlytruecrime@gmail.com, and I protect all my sources. Okay, so that was the last text message ever. And now we try to piece together what the hell was going on that night, right? So obviously they got to speak to Tyler, they got to speak to his mother, and they got to try to find Nikki. So on May 17th of 2024, Chloe was trying to find the soccer uniform of her niece, Nikki's daughter, and thought it was perhaps at Jeanette's house. Chloe's fiance and niece went to Jeanette's house, and the fiance asked Jeanette where Tyler was, and Jeanette said that he'd stayed at the hospital with his brother overnight. I actually think that was on the 18th. It was that next day. That was on the 18th, the next day. So they went to the house. They saw Jeanette, the mother-in-law, and like, hey, where's Tyler? Oh, he just stayed at the hospital overnight. So that's important to know. Why? Because then he changes his story. So between all these people, there's a lot of stories going around. On May 19th of 2024, Tyler texted Chloe, who's Nikki's sister, to ask if Nikki was with her. And she's like, no. And then on May 21st of 2024, Tyler texted Chloe and said, have you heard from your sister? I think she's missing. I mean, what a thing to text. Have you seen her? I think she's missing, he said. Did he call the police? No. Did he look for her? Nope. Now here's Tyler's stories. Are you ready? Buckle up. There's a lot of them. I had to categorize. So it's story 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Story about the night, about the last night that anyone knows Nikki's whereabouts, which was May 17th, clocking over to May 18th. Okay. Story 1 is that Tyler got a ride home from the hospital with his sister around 1:30 a.m. on May 18th of 2024, and says that Nikki wasn't home when he got there. Yeah, she wasn't home. So he first makes I didn't even see her at all. But yet his mother's saying that he stayed overnight at the hospital. He said that Too Tall, now I've seen this Too Tall mentioned everywhere, Too Tall is apparently a person who lived on the property in a trailer, and that's his nickname. That's what they call him. So he said that Too Tall was with him. So it would mean that Tyler and Too Tall got a ride with Tyler's sister home. When they got there, no Nikki. He says they went to pick Nikki up at his mom's house, and when they got there to his mom's house, then him and Nikki had a fight. After that, he says that she walked off. They fought, she walked off, and he never saw her again. Story 1. And even in story 1, there's a couple of stories. Hey, story number 2, they got into a fight at the house, at their own house, and then Nikki took an Uber, and he never saw her again. Okay. Story number 3. He doesn't remember where the fight occurred at all. He just has no idea. It's one of those, I don't recall. Story number 4. Nikki ran off with a woman that she was having an affair with. You see what I say there? Remember the report from December of 2024? I know. Remember the report from December of 2023? When he's like, yeah, I think the person that assaulted her was a female that she's having an affair with, basically. And here he goes again with the same story. Okay, that's in his toolbox of stories. Yeah, she ran off with a woman that she was having an affair with. And story number 5 is that she ran off to Vegas with another man. I'm sure there's more stories in there, but those are the ones I've gathered so far. Okay. On the right-hand side of the picture there would be of Tyler, his mother, and I think his brother. Now, Jeanette, the mother-in-law, Nikki's mother-in-law, Tyler's mother, also has different versions of events. Number 1, she can't remember anything that happened that night. She just knows that she got her truck back that night. Story number 2, she says that Nikki left her house in an Uber. Okay. Then we get to this guy that lived on the property in a trailer, too tall, who Tyler says went home with him from the hospital. So apparently now he's also at the hospital. Initially the story is that it's Tyler, Nikki, and the mother-in-law. Now somewhere in there, Too Tall is also there. So Too Tall said that Tyler had asked him to follow Nikki to take Jeanette's truck back to her house and then give her a ride back home. Okay, he claims that that's exactly what happened, that he followed Nikki to Jeanette's house, where from the hospital, was Too Tall there with his own car? I don't even know. But if they did that, then they followed to Jeanette's house. When they get there, they hung out for a bit, so it would be Too Tall, Nikki, and the mother-in-law. They hung out for a bit, and then he drove Nikki back home. He says when they got back home, Tyler was in the garage, Nikki was doing laundry, and he later saw Nikki get an Uber. Or he changed his story too and said, or she got picked up by a friend named Sam. Neither Tyler, his mother, or Too Tall can remember what Nikki was wearing when they last saw her. That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. If all three of them are like, no idea. Really? All three of you have no idea what she was last seen wearing? Now, May 22nd of 2024, Nikki's family filed a missing persons report with the Redding Police Department. Where was Nikki's car though? Because they realized along the way, okay, this is getting weird because she's not responding to our group messages. She's not answering, like what is going on? And so they start getting really worried and they report her missing. And then they're like, but where's her car? The one that Tyler gave her as a gift as well. Interesting. So, Too Tall said that Tyler was driving it. Tyler had apparently not even registered the truck yet. This is a Chevy Avalanche. Tyler told Nikki's sister that her truck had broken down and that they didn't need to help him. No. His buddy would help him go and get it later. The case was later transferred to the Shasta County Sheriff's Office Major Crimes Unit, which is still who's in charge now. The unit focuses on serious offenses like homicides, suspicious disappearances, and complex cases. So there you could see it was first the Redding Police Department, right? The Redding Police Department said publicly, of course, the report was already made on May 22nd, but on May 25th of 2024, missing person investigation, Nikki Cheng McCain. We are asking for your help in locating a missing adult. Nikki McCain is 39 years old. She's 4'11", weighs 110 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Nikki was last in contact with family members on the 17th of May of 2024. Additionally, we are seeking any information about her 2002 Chevy Avalanche, California plate DP154UT. Anyone with information on Nikki's whereabouts or has seen her truck should contact the Redding Police Department, and they've got the numbers there. Okay, and then as I say, later the case was transferred to the Shasta County Sheriff's Office Major Crimes Unit. Now on May 25th of 2024, Nikki's 2002 Chevy Avalanche was discovered in western Tehama County. Did I say that right? Tehama County? Tehama? I feel like it's Tehama County. Is it? Exact location unknown to protect the integrity of the investigation. However, there's a lot of social media speculation, as I've said. There's a lot of people piecing together a lot of information, so just take this with a grain of salt. But what I do want to show you quickly here is that they said if this is where the mother-in-law stays near this Wind River Casino, and Olinda Road, somewhere on Olinda Road is where Tyler and Nikki stayed, then here, somewhere around here, where where it says Platina here, somewhere around there is allegedly where the vehicle may have been found. It was along this Highway 36, and they said eerily kind of close to property. The road was leading to property that Tyler's family owned, and it was just found abandoned there. Okay, now this Bowman Road is actually an area where a witness had told Nikki's sisters that he'd seen someone being a little bit sus there under the bridge, and maybe with her car as well, and things like that. But that I don't know any more about that. I just put that on the map just so we can see where it is, right? So law enforcement is not saying exactly where the vehicle was found. Apparently the vehicle had burn damage before, because everyone is going wild on social media saying, oh my word, there's burn damage and everything, but they were saying that it already had that before. So the police let the public know that they located a vehicle on May 30th. So that was quite a few days to let everyone know, but they're obviously first checking everything out, and then they let everyone know, even though so many people were trying to help find the vehicle and obviously are still trying to help find Nikki. There was huge community searches for Nikki. There still are. There's rallies, there's candlelight vigils. I mean, the community and Nikki's family have been incredible. So then the road where her vehicle was found is allegedly on a road leading to properties belonging to Tyler's family. Okay, law enforcement searches. Jeanette, the mother-in-law's property, is on Redding Rancheria, a federally recognized Native American reservation in Shasta County, California. Nikki's last text placed her in proximity to tribal land at the time of her disappearance. The Rancheria has stated that it is cooperating with law enforcement, providing requested information and video footage, and has allowed local and warranted searches on tribal land. Right? But there is a little bit of an obstacle. They said, however, they've also clarified that under California's Public Law 280, which grants local law enforcement criminal jurisdiction over tribal lands, they cannot unilaterally permit searches on individual tribal members' private parcels without specific legal authorization like a warrant. The Rancheria has noted that they are unsure where exactly Nikki was last seen and unaware of evidence placing her disappearance on their property, suggesting that while some searches occurred, private areas within the Rancheria might remain unsearched unless law enforcement secures targeted permissions or evidence justifies it. Erin says, ooh, Tehama I don't know. Rancheria. Oh, thank you so much. California, Janet. So, yes, this is a little bit, well, it's quite a big obstacle in this case as well. One would hope. That's why I say, if Tyler is a tribal member and his mother is connected to it and his grandfather was so influential, they're high ranking, they have the most influence on getting everybody to say, sure, search my property, but they're not doing it. The lack of clarity on whether all relevant parcels have been accessed leaves open the possibility of unsearched zone areas. Shame. So there's a $30,000 reward, they say up to $30,000 reward. I've seen that multiple, you know when it's like multiple agencies and groups contribute to that reward money? I think that's what's happened there right now. It's $30,000 reward in total from what I've seen. And so, shame, these flyers, there's lots of flyers. You can find so many versions of it as well on social media, and just share. When you see them, just share, right? You just never know who hasn't heard about this case. As I say, today's a good example. I've been following the case, but I've never reported on it. And now here we are, and 65% of you initially, before the stream started, said you had not heard of this case. And I'm like, oh my word. So yes, okay, let's keep going here. I hope that they are able to search wherever they need to search and that there will be answers. Now, Tyler, again, is a tribal member, so he could be literally leading the search for Nikki. And he could be making a huge difference, but he's not doing it. What happened to Tyler's court case, you might ask? Because I asked myself, what the heck happened to his court case? You know? Because Nikki disappeared before he was going to go on trial for those domestic violence related charges. Tyler McCain was initially charged with 4 felony counts: corporal injury to a spouse, false imprisonment, criminal threats, and assault with force likely to cause bodily injury from the November 29th, 2023 attack on Nikki. The preliminary hearing for the felony charges was scheduled for June 3rd of 2024. When was Nikki last seen? She was last heard from early morning hours of May 18th of 2024. It's very close to that court date. So then a jury trial was scheduled for July 2nd of 2024. But on July 5th of 2024, the Shasta County District Attorney's Office requested dismissal of the charges which the Superior Court granted, and that was just absolutely devastating. Like, this case really breaks my heart. It really does. Also, Shasta County, Sherry Papini. Remember Sherry Papini? And I mean, just all the resources she wasted, how many resources went into searching for her, and that was fake. Yes, we need to see that in this case as well. And it's just like, oh my word. So this is what they said. The Shasta County District Attorney's Office requested dismissal of the charges, which the Superior Court granted. The dismissal was without prejudice, meaning charges could be refiled if new evidence or Nikki's presence allows it. And they say that's within 2 years. Oh man, so that now the clock is ticking as well. They have to find new evidence or Nikki within 2 years for those charges to be that again. Right? But it's just at this, like, the hope is that, okay, well, will he be held accountable one day? That would be the hope. If never, well, then this is absolutely devastating. Now, by the way, that picture of him on the right-hand side there is him literally, allegedly, no, I can't even say it's there. You could see it. He was walking past, pulling the middle finger at the protesters, at Nikki's family. Everybody rallying outside in support of Nikki. And this guy had a terrible attitude towards them, okay? Is YouTube being naughty? Sorry about that, everyone. It's not even my fault. I shouldn't apologize for YouTube. Just refresh. Okay, so that was so sad. There's videos out there that you can see as well of their reaction to it, of them rallying outside the courthouse, and I was so sad when I saw that. Now, there's also some interesting fire or potential arson incidents. Okay, on July 2nd of 2024, the day that his trial was supposed to happen, which didn't, right? That's a weird day for this to happen. I'm just saying. A fire in Yola burned 19 acres of land, which was very close. Some people are reporting it as on his cousin's property. And why that was important was because on Facebook, on the Facebook group for Nikki, there's a big Facebook group that you can check out. I'll show it to you in a moment, well, after this. Yeah, on Facebook, they posted that they want to go search there. And then this fire breaks out and 19 acres of land is burned. Wow, okay. So the search was canceled due to the fire. Now, I know that it's California. Fires can happen, especially in summer like that, but whoa. Then, on July 3rd of 2024, the next day, literally the next day, a fire broke out on Tyler and Nikki's Happy Valley property, where 98 acres burnt, as well as cars on the property were burnt, and cars that he said. So, he says he admits that he started the fire, but he says it was that one, not the other one. He admits to starting the fire, but he said it was an accident, that he parked his car on dry grass and a faulty catalytic converter sparked the flames. Whoops. That's so weird. Oh my word. That is just like, and they were also going to search that area, and they'd also posted about that on social media. So it's interesting. There's no formal charges against him with that either. And it may just be coincidence, but it is interesting. On the evening of July 31st of 2024, Tyler was driving down West Side Road in Redding when he was pulled over for an alleged traffic violation. He had a criminal protective order related to a domestic violence case against him, we know which one, that prohibited him from having firearms or ammunition, and he was arrested for violating that criminal protective order because he had ammunition in the vehicle and he was driving with a suspended license. He bailed out on the same day. Now that's a pattern too. The minute he's in, he gets bailed out. If his mother's doing that, that's not good. Oh no. Who's bailing him out like that? He just immediately out, in, out. In both cases. That other case with the 4 charges, you know, when Nikki was attacked, yeah, he bailed out same day. Wow. So there again, same day, and a hearing was set for October 7th of 2024. On October 7th of 2024, he was sentenced in Shasta County Superior Court to 12 months of informal probation, 10 work days, and a requirement to install an alcohol detecting device on any vehicle or in any vehicle he operates. He remains on this informal probation until October 6th of 2025, barring violations. Okay then. Tyler spoke publicly for the first time since Nikki's disappearance at a sheriff's office news conference on March 10th of 2025, thanking investigators and asking for help finding Nikki, but he said he's there just to support, and he said he doesn't even know what to say. But he faces no active charges directly tied to her case. The Shasta County Sheriff's Office provided us a platform, this is what her family said, to speak to the public, to remind everyone that she is still missing and the case is still being investigated, said Kay Ford, McCain's sister. If you have any information about Nikki's case, you can see the numbers on the screen there. That's public record. That's who the police are asking you to call. If you have seen something, please say something. If you know something, if you heard something. And to me, just from what I'm reading on social media, there might be people that know something. He was the one allegedly having affairs, and sure, okay, those rabbit holes, let me not say, you can look on Facebook. I was just like, what? He was what now? And they did what? It's just, I can't. It's too much of a speculation right now on social media, but it's interesting to think who could know something? Which girlfriends? If they know something, they should say something, okay? Now, here is the tattoo that I wanted to show you just a little bit of a closer look of, which Nikki has on her left forearm. Okay, just in case you see her, right? No one knows where she is. No one knows what's happened to her. And the search continues. Okay, so that is the presentation. I just quickly now want to show you a few little things, and then we're going to look at that press conference again. So here again, we've got the area where everything, the main points. Wind River Resort and Casino, where the mother-in-law stays. Olinda Road, where Nikki stayed with Tyler. And then also around here is maybe where her vehicle was found abandoned, right? So then I wanted to show you this, just so that you have some clarity on what this press conference was about. And sure, I found it very interesting, and we're going to watch it together, okay? There we go. Missing woman Nikki McCain's husband speaks on the case for the first time at a news conference. Literally hasn't said a word before. He's been pulling middle fingers and not searching. And now he's like, I'm going to be there. Can you imagine what it must have been like as well for her sisters to be standing next to him at this press conference? They are amazing. So Redding, California, the Shasta County Sheriff's Office held a news conference on Monday to provide updates on the ongoing missing persons case of Nikki Cheng Saelee-McCain. The conference, requested by McCain's family, took place at 11 a.m. at the Shasta County Emergency Operations Center in Redding. Nikki's family, including her husband, Tyler Scott McCain, was in attendance. This was his first time speaking with the media about the case. SCSO Investigations Captain Chris Edwards started the meeting by going over the facts of the case. The established media were not allowed to ask questions following the conference before handing it over to Tyler McCain for his first voluntary appearance to the media since his wife disappeared. McCain took the time to thank the work that the Shasta County Sheriff's Office has done so far and asked for help from the public. McCain, did his lawyer tell him to do this? I don't know. McCain seemed to struggle with what to say, speaking so quietly that he could only be heard by the people and microphones right next to him. "We miss you," he stated softly. "I don't really know what to say." Now, again, he could be innocent. We don't know. Okay, we don't know. It's just a lot of red flags, unfortunately. He then went on to apologize for his reticence to be in the public eye, saying that he has struggled. Now, if I were to speculate, I'm seeing a red flag and a classic, like, I'm the victim here. I've been struggling so much. Oh no. Araceli Spicy Chica, I always like saying your handle name. Thank you for being a member for 19 months. And thanks for being here with us as we study this case. So there he was. He said, "I apologize to everyone. We miss you." Tyler McCain, husband of missing Redding mother Nikki McCain, spoke at a news conference. He said, "I apologize." We're going to watch it. I just want you to see what he said because it's hard to hear. "I apologize to everyone, especially my children, my wife's family, mine as well." He trailed off. "I'm just here in support. So anything that I can do, I want to do that." That was his final statement before passing off the microphone to Nikki's sisters, Chloe and Kay. The pair went over the facts of the case, pleading for help from the public. Nikki McCain, 39, was last in contact with her family on May 17th. Her truck was discovered in western... wait, I'm going to see how someone told me to say it. Tehama, County on May 25th. The community conducted its first large-scale search for her on May 31st. Okay, the pair announced that they've created a new website to help collect information around their sister's disappearance, which is whereisnikki.com. I just want to make sure we get that one as well. Although the site does not seem to be up. That's what I was trying to find it as well. We'll have a look. We'll have a look if I was looking for it myself and I couldn't find it and I thought maybe they put the link somewhere. Maybe I heard it wrong. Where-is-nikki.com. Okay, so then efforts to aid in her safe return have been ongoing. On June 3rd, the Redding Rancheria erected a billboard along the I-5 offering a reward for information. The reward was initially $10,000, but has since been raised to $30,000 with contributions from the USPA Nationwide Security and the non-profit Kingsman. Tyler McCain, Nikki's husband, has been involved in several legal proceedings. A preliminary hearing took place on June 3rd, and a domestic violence trial was initially set for July, but was later dismissed. He was arrested on August 1st for traffic violations and violating a court order. On October 7th, he was sentenced to 12 months of informal probation and 10 workdays for criminal traffic violations. Nikki's family celebrated her 40th birthday on November 9th without her. Shame. Okay, so then I just wanted to show you some pictures of friends, family rallying for missing Shasta County woman Nikki Cheng Saelee-McCain. So you can see some of the pictures here as well. I'll link this for you, but they've been so amazing. Justice for Nikki are hashtags that they're also using. Where is Nikki? Find Nikki. There's lots of hashtags you'll see on social media as well. Okay, so we've looked at that one. And then I just want to quickly see if I find another copy of this press conference. It really looks like it's really Casey. It's only that one. It's only that one. So we'll just have to bear with the sound here. And now that you have lots of context, here's Tyler. It's just an interesting move to be at this press conference all of a sudden. Okay, so let's make this full screen and do our best to hear what the heck is going on. But as they said, it's very difficult to hear him, okay? It's very, like when he speaks, he's mumbling, okay? Are we ready? So look at this lady's face. She's like, what? Look at him. And I'm sure you'll watch this many times like I have, because if you look at the police officers looking at him and just everything, maybe at some point the behavior panel will look at this. I don't know. We'll see. Let's have a look at this.
Good morning. My name is Chris Edwards, the investigations captain of the Sheriff's Office. And we're here this morning regarding the Nikki Saelee-McCain case. At this point, we were asked by the media or the family who wanted to address the media regarding her investigation. At this point, let's let the media know that we're not planning on taking any questions after regarding this case, and the family's really the same, so please respect that. So at this point, the Sheriff's Office has continued to investigate this. We have since last May. We're nearing a year. At this point, we're about 10 months and still actively working the case. So at this point of the conference, we'll let the family address the media as requested.
You can talk with your so we just have we'll have each family member show you
Well,
Okay, so there he is. As I say, the sound sucks, okay? But I've tried to find another version, and apparently this wasn't live streamed either. They pre-recorded it, so something like that. This is what we have to work with, okay? But we could watch it in silence and still read a lot in this room, right? Okay, so check this out.
I'm Tyler McCain. I'm the husband of Nikki McCain. First of all, I would like to thank the Sheriff's Office, FBI, for getting involved. Any efforts that that might help bring my wife home, safely. We miss you. I don't really know what to say. I haven't been in the public eyes, and I haven't done very well with it. I apologize to everyone, especially my children, my wife's family, mine as well. I'm just here in support, so anything that I can do, I want to do that. So, okay, I'll take over.
Thank you.
Oh my. Stefan says the cops are not impressed. they don't look impressed, right, to me. Let me just quickly see if anyone sent me. Nope, this is the only link we have for now, okay? So let's try to listen to the rest of it there, but wow. I don't know why the room is so dark either. The room is, let me try to brighten it. This room is so dark, we can't see a thing here. Okay, wait, and do it like this. Does that look better at all? I don't know. I'm just trying to brighten it for you. Okay, so that was the husband breaking his silence. After all this time, he decided to speak. And that's what he said. Shame, oh my word.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can go stand back up there if you want, or
I think it's fine to leave it there. I don't need to get
podium mic. Yeah. Should have clarified that.
Hello, my name is Kay Ford.
And I'm Chloe Saelee. We just want to start off by saying thank you for being here today to hear about our missing sister, Nikki Cheng Saelee-McCain, who has been missing for 296 days.
We have spent each of those days in agony, longing for her safe return to her family and her children. She vanished on May 18th, 2024, and we urgently need your help to find her. We are pleading with anyone with information to come forward. This is a call to action to bring our sister home.
Nikki is approximately 5 feet tall and she weighs about 90 to 95 pounds. She has dark brown reddish colored hair, and at the time of her disappearance she was 39 years old. She was allegedly last seen May 18th, 2024.
That's Nikki's sister speaking there, saying she was allegedly last seen. So no one knows. They last saw her, physically last saw her on May 12th. And they got texts from Nikki's phone. Could have been Nikki, but in the early morning hours of May 18th of 2024. Okay? Kerry says, where did he go? I know, right? That's the other thing. Like, he hands over the mic and he's done. He's gone. He's scrambled somewhere. Where did he go? Where is he right now? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Was reportedly picked up at her mother-in-law, Jeanette Hayward McCain's house at the Redding Rancheria in Redding, California. She may have been dropped off at her home on Olindo Road in Happy Valley. Her truck that Tyler recently purchased for her was found abandoned on Highway 36 near Begum Road. She hasn't been seen or heard from since.
We want to express our deepest gratitude to everyone who has helped in the search for my sister. To the volunteers, law enforcement, the media, private investigators, and the individuals who have dedicated their time and resources to searching for her, and to every single person who has shared her story, kept an eye out, and offered support, thank you. Your kindness and determination mean the world to our family during this incredibly difficult time.
We also want to sincerely...
So sorry to pause it there. So this press conference looks like it's 9 minutes long, okay? And after this, we watched 4 minutes of it, okay? 5 more minutes, then we're gonna have to watch him just one more time together. Just one more time together, okay?
Thank the Shasta County Sheriff's Office Major Crimes Unit for their continued efforts and for giving us this platform to keep our sister's story alive. Their support in this search has been invaluable, and we are grateful for their dedication to helping us find her.
Nikki, you are missed every single day. We wonder if you are at peace. Your absence leaves a void that can't be filled, and we want to bring you home. You are loved beyond measure, and we will keep searching for you until you're back in our arms. No matter how tired we are, we will keep fighting. Your kids need you, and we need you. And we just want you to know this is not your fault. For almost a year, we've been searching for our sister and for a major break in the case that will help us find her. We miss her desperately, and we will never give up. But we need your help. If you have seen anything, heard anything, or know anything, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, please come forward. Any piece of information could be the key to bringing our sister home.
Our mission is clear. We must bring Nikki home. Your help is critical, and we welcome any support from those who know and love her. We have connected with the missing persons community, including Gabby Petito's mother. Gabby Petito was found after a tip from social media, and we haven't lost hope.
We just ask that you continue to please keep Nikki in your thoughts, but more importantly, don't forget about her. Get the word out on social media. We're using hashtag Where's Nikki. Please keep her name out there. And again, please do not forget, and we can't state this enough, please, someone has to know something, and we need that person or those people to speak up. We will not rest until she is found.
If you have any information,
I'm just going to pause there. So the hashtag is Where is Nikki? So if you want to like and share this episode with hashtag Where is Nikki, you can do that as well to categorize it on social media. If you go to social media and you search the term hashtag Where is Nikki, you'll also find many things, flyers to share, you know, of course, the $30,000 reward included on those flyers as well, the numbers to contact. And I know you guys are always very proactive. So thank you so much to everyone who is sharing, has been sharing, and will continue to share Nikki's case. Esme, thank you so much. Jay said her sisters are so strong. They really are.
please contact the Shasta County Major Crimes. And to find out more about her case, we did create a website. It's www.where-is-nikki.com. Our family is holding on to hope, and we won't stop until we find her. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is May Charlie. I will be speaking mainly in Mian. Bang on hoi, you say, Jill Lay May Joe, Langting to Wang Yung Yam Nai. The way I told Langting Yung, where Union Yam Nai Lung Dia, my hill Tang Nai, Tang on Tane Huang Toy, or name say, did lie me to Alam Tetu in Hanga. You were Lang Jane, and the way I Langting Nai, when you Shasta Gwentang, Union Lang Jill, Sergeant the way Yung. Miền mùa hôm nay ở làng chiếu nấm cũng có ý chẳng như sang như làng chiếu phê lúa để làng trình hải buông bùa kênh nhiều đáo thành kiến đáo chạy thành kiến nó làng trình tham ổ như vậy làng trình được á mấy bùa chỉ tao như buôn trình nhàn thành nó nín thành on nó xe nín thì lại mới lao nè mặc chơi phải nhé chẳng như mà bùa nhé tỏ như gì với thành cổ chứ chơi on thôi bây giờ chúng yêu miền ở bệ phim tin yêu miền vì hàng nhóm bạn xây có nhiều bạn là có bộ yêu miền thông từ quảng ninh thông từ là khu ninh ninh như bữa xây有thành on ở đối ninh là chiều miền ninh bài phải chuối phải nhé thông bộ khởi liền trên ổ hàng bữa đảng bữa đã khởi liền bài giải thông vấn từ quảng từ là khu ninh bữa buôn sẽ buôn trình nghề buôn cha hiểu cha là hại ở buôn đua ta sẽ cái nó nên là hai anh thành cái mình nó nên hoang tỏi nó vừa lấy như miền hoang tỏi cái lãnh chính con bùa đua mai nhu hai cháu tung bùa chuẩn và đua thông bùa anh tung quảng anh ham chân bùa mình thì nó cho mình bùa mình hai đào là hai mình dẻo ta hai ní mình lụm là hai ta lại hai quạt phải hai chẳng con như là thông bùa kho bùa này cho tỏ bèn nó ở Shasta County.
Okay, there's 1 minute left. I just want to make sure we play this as well. You don't know who's going to be listening, who's going to be watching, who might know something.
ใน Sheriff Department แต่น่านอนบัวบนบัวให้เทงโอเนี่ยอย่างที่ว่าท้องบัวมีจ่าวหายบัวมันตัวกว่างว่าน่าเทงออนนี่บัวมีฮัดดาจังแค่นี้บัวก้องแค่นี้เงี้ยเจ้ามีก้องแค่นี้เว้ยให้ติ๋วนิ่งยำได้ถ้าบัวบนน้องกอดในน้องบัวก้องจะห่างแค่มีเนี่ยน้องให้หลักคู่นินแต่ฟิงเนี่ยเจบัวอิวเมียนเนี่ยเจให้น้องกอดอ๋อท้องบัวอิวเมียนตรงเหี้ยวเทงแค่ต่อยมีอาจจะเคลียนต่อยบัวเคลียนต่อยมาให้ต่อเคลียนบัวแรงจริงเนี่ยจึงเป็นออนไง
This will conclude the press conference, but I want to let the public know that everything that's being done to locate Nikki is being done by our detectives. And if there's anybody out in the public that has any information, I encourage them to do the right thing and give us a call. That number is 530-245-6135. Thank you.
Okay, so that concludes the press conference. Let's just see if we spot Tyler at all again. Nope. Okay, so one more time. Let's look at Tyler. Just one more time. The husband who did not help search at all. Who pulled zap signs at people rallying in support of Nikki. Yeah. Who we know, it's documented, brutally attacked her in November of 2023. Okay? So let's just see what he's got to say now that he's broken his silence.
Good morning. My name is...
Let's wait for him.
So this...
Here we go.
On the conference, we'll let
One more time.
address the meeting as requested.
So, you can talk with your title. So you just have we'll have each family member share their individually.
Well, I'm John McCain. I'm the husband of Nikki McCain. First of all, I would like to thank the Sheriff's Office, FBI, for getting involved. Any efforts that that might help bring my wife home, safely. We miss you.
That might bring my wife home safely. I don't know if I believe it when he says safely. Right?
Safely.
Look. One more time.
FBI, for getting involved. Any efforts that that might help bring my wife home, safely. We miss you. I don't really know what to say. I haven't been in the public eyes, and I haven't done very well with it. I apologize to everyone, especially my children, my wife's family, mine as well. I'm just here in support, so anything that I can do, I want to do that.
Anything that I can do, I want to do that. Just for the last 10 months, I don't really want to search. Nah, I don't want to do that. But anything now that I can do, yeah, I want to do that. It's just like, dude, you had, even if, I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, even if you didn't say anything, you didn't help in the search, which is really, really weird. There was no sense of urgency. You didn't look for your wife, the mother of your children. Yeah, okay. Now you had 10 months to think about what to say here at this press conference, which took place yesterday, March 10th of 2025, okay? This is from yesterday. This is like brand new. This is what you have to say? I still don't feel any urgency. There's no pleading for where's my wife. Just like, thank you to the detectives and the FBI. Yeah, they're standing right there. He looks quite nervous to even get close to them, in my opinion. But anyway, we're just speculating now. Okay.
I haven't been in the public eyes, and I haven't done very well with it. I apologize to everyone, especially my children, my wife's family, mine as well. I'm just here in support, so anything that I can do, I want to do that. So, okay, I'll take over.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Police like, thank you, Tyler. Thank you. That was great. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've seen that a few times now in this episode. Let me quickly show you as well some resources. There is this link tree that I'm going to put in the description box for you that Nikki's family have set up. Right, help find Nikki Cheng Saelee, missing person Nikki Cheng, as you could see, age 39, missing from Shasta County, California. And they've got a whole lot of links here as well. They've got Derek Lavassa's episode here, which is very good if you haven't listened to that before. So they've got things linked there, and then they've also got a GoFundMe, which I'll link as well for you, because they've said that, so they explain the timeline as well here. And they said the currently combined $30,000 has not been enough incentive for these witnesses to come forward. We are hoping a reward directly from the family will motivate someone to provide the information that we need to find Nikki and bring justice to those involved. I mean, I'm just speculating, but even like the person who lived, Too Tall? Does Too Tall know something? Does Too Tall need to be motivated a little more? I don't know, but I'll put that link in there for you as well. And then if you look at the Facebook group, there we go. Help find missing mother, Nikki Cheng Saelee-McCain. Missing from Shasta County, California. They've got all the descriptions there. This is a group on Facebook that you can follow as well and see a lot of posts and updates and also, the backstory and all of that as well. And then, yeah, that didn't go. It didn't take us to that link. So when that link is up, that they said that they would be releasing at the press conference, I will make sure to also put that in the description box. Okay, so yeah, Poetry Skip said he's just there in support. What about pleading for a safe return? I know, right? He just said, I miss you. I'll do whatever, like I'm here just for support. Wow. Shame, shame, shame. That's all I can say. Oh, shame. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for studying this case with me. I will keep you posted, of course, on anything I find, because there's a lot to find in this case. I'm 10 months late to talking about the case. I've been following along on social media as best I can, but there's so much to talk about here, and especially now with the husband starting to break his silence. Let's hope that Nikki will be found. Let's hope for answers. I'm so glad that her sisters, they are so strong, and they say, we are not giving up hope. And they talked about Gabby Petito's case, the importance of social media. So I hope that we can show them lots of support. Please go and follow them as well on Facebook and everywhere. And I'm going to put all the links in the description box, as I say. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you again very soon. Let me just see if I missed something. I did miss something. Susan Fontaine said he got that catalytic converter story from a Sopranos episode. And I also got emailed about that, so I believe so. I think he did, which is quite something, right? So, thank you.